Hey, welcome to Living Well, the Ultimate Health Journey. This is your host, Alice Boswell, of course. And then I have with me Dr. Zini. And then we also have Coach Jovi Marie with us. How you ladies and gentlemen are doing?
I am doing well and living well.
That is what I'm talking about with living well and doing well. Uh, um, how about you, Jovi? What about you?
I'm doing fantastic. It's
See,
amazing. I'm like, it's
you were
amazing right
supposed to
now.
do the play on words like Dr. Zini did, right?
Living well. We're
You're
living
like,
well.
hey, I am in ultimate health, because that's our title. Living well. He did the living well. You were supposed to follow up with ultimate health. Okay.
Yes, ultimate health as well.
All right. Our other host is actually here is Angel, and she is going to tell us how she's doing today. How you doing today, Angel?
Hello, doing well. Thank you so much.
All right. So we are going to get started today. We have a fantastic show for you. We're finishing up March conversation with Dr. Zini. Next month we got a whole new month of topics that we're gonna go over, and he is just gonna lay it out for us. We are gonna be so healthy by the time the summer comes. I am gonna be sexy. Y'all see, I got my Shirley wig on. Okay. So I don't know if y'all remember the song, but I put it on Facebook, and I'm like, "Hello, may I speak to Barbara? Barbara, this is Shirley. This is me, right here." So, and glad to know from last week's conversation, just to follow up a little bit. Um, I drink a lot of water, Dr. Phil. I saw a lot of
Thank
results
you.
from it. From doing that, I honestly that waste was coming on out, and it was not constipated. I was very surprised. The more water I drank, and I was having like 2 and 3 of those bowel movements. So
Mhm.
very good. So
Good deal. Good
yeah,
deal. That's the way it's supposed to work.
yes.
Awesome.
See,
Uh,
Dr. Zini know y'all. He knows. He knows. All right. So let's get started with our show for tonight. Dr. Zini, what are we talking about tonight? Because I know we're finishing up for March.
so tonight was supposed to be an extension of last week, which was kind of a brief overview of what we're going to talk about in April, because we'll have a lot more time and we'll be able to go in depth. So in the first segment, we're going to talk a little bit about allergy and what you need to kind of do in preparation. The first thing is to recognize that there are a variety of things in the environment that you could be quote unquote allergic to. And when people think about allergies, they think about they ate a peanut or they ate a strawberry and their face blew up and their throat closed off, but that's not the type of allergies we're talking about. The allergies that we're referring to are the ones that are more of a sensitivity. So your body doesn't really kind of like something. And as a result, you have a whole cascade or a whole broad array of symptoms. And the symptoms can be kind of like the classic ones where you may feel bloated or puffy or maybe some things that you don't really think of, like joint pain or maybe general achiness, or even you're having a difficult time with reducing weight. There's a whole wide array of symptoms that people can have when they're having allergy type of issues. So, what do? The first thing is to look at diet. And the easiest way and the least expensive way is to start an elimination diet. And that means that you take a good diary food log of what you're eating. And this is something that Jovi's really big on, by the way. So you take a food log or an inventory of what you're eating, and then you kind of write down symptoms that you're feeling. And then based on the food that you're eating, the symptoms that you're writing down, then you start eliminating those things. And you do that for a couple weeks. And if you can, try to do it in a focused way. So maybe you're eliminating dairy type products first, because those are the things that are giving the most symptoms, whether it be milk or cheese or yogurt. You try to eliminate groups first, see how you're feeling, and then that'll kind of give you an idea about some of the allergic type of responses that you're having. And then if that doesn't seem to work out, then there's other functional medicine tests that we can do. One of them is called Fresh Start, that really dives deep and looks at over 1,000 foods that your body may not be tolerating well, and more importantly, foods that love your body back. So things that you may want to actually consume more of, so that this way you can kind of help your body heal. So we'll do a much deeper dive into that aspect when we talk in April.
All right. I have a question. You just brought up the detox, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Let me get to myself so we can see me and my new wig. Okay. So we got the diet, the detox, the elimination diet, which you said. Now the Fresh Start, is that like a blood test where you go get all these get results from or something?
So when we start looking at allergies, there are traditional kind of blood tests that you can do, but that type of allergy is again looking for things that you may have the classic allergy to, not so much the sensitivity to. So yes, you could do that, and that would help to possibly weed out other things. The nice thing about that too is that insurance usually covers that. So that can be done. But usually by the time people get to me, they've done all that. They've seen the mainstream allergist, and they're still not feeling at the top of their game, or the quality of life isn't quite where they're at. So we're digging to the root cause of things, and not just scratching the surface.
Oh, very good. Now, allergies can really be from anything, right? Peanuts, but that's different type of allergy that can actually kill you because people are allergic to peanuts, fish. But it's because it's totally different from pollen, I guess you would say.
So they're all kind of the same. And what I mean by that is they can cause a wide array of symptoms. And
Okay.
we're looking at the ones that are more or less of a nuisance, that really just kind of bug you and create all these lingering symptoms. Again, like I said, whether it's bloating, puffiness, your throat is kind of scratchy feeling, you may have skin irritation, itchiness. Um, so they're kind of vague symptoms, but when you step back and look at the big picture, it's like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. These are some of the intolerances that people have. Again, whether or not it's something to the environment you're breathing in, but most likely it's the food that people eat. And the way you differentiate that quickly is with seasonality. So if it's something that always happens in the spring, most likely it's probably pollen or something in the air that you brought up.
Okay. And how does it work for children? Because I see that a lot of children they are born with these allergies. How does that work?
So they're not really born with them. Most likely it's because they didn't get enough breast milk, because breast milk has a lot
Hmm.
of the antibodies and things that help to kind of seed the gut, seed the intestinal tract with good bacteria, with kind of proactive bacteria. So it's not that they're born with it, it's just that their immune system wasn't properly set. There wasn't a good foundation, if you will. And then, of course, you throw on all the bad stuff that they shouldn't be eating anyway, and then it just kind of sets them up to fail.
Yeah. And just Angel, I see you nodding your head. What are you in agreement about?
I have come to learn that breast milk does have a lot of benefits to it. But I didn't know that, and so I thought that was very interesting. But it tracks though from what I've been learning.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and unfortunately, in our fast-paced society, usually you have a dual income home and everyone's working, and it's kind of hard taking care of the kids. So the kids get put off to maybe a daycare program or something like that. So there isn't a lot of time. So even if a mom is pumping and saving the breast milk, you're still not getting as much as the kid should probably have. Well, yeah, we need to set our kids up for success.
And doing prenatal care, wouldn't the doctor let them know that they need to start eating correctly so they'll be able to have healthy milk for their children? And I know I'm pointing. I shouldn't be pointing. I'm sorry, y'all. But
Yeah, you think that would happen, but
yeah,
again, in mainstream medicine, there's very little education. And here, take this prenatal vitamin and come back and see me and whatever the next time to do the ultrasound or something like that.
So,
really.
Dr. Phillip, what would you suggest? Do you suggest for a mom to breastfeed 6 months or a year? Because I know for my daughter, I breastfed for about a year.
So it depends on when you grew up. So I see Angel raising her
She better
hand.
not be saying 4 years, Dr. Zini. Dr. Zini, she better not be saying she breastfeeding, got teeth and all. Grown man ready to go to work.
So my dad was telling me how he'd be nudging his mom for a little afternoon snack on the streetcar in Chicago, and he was like 6 or 7. So
Oh, wow.
you know,
Wow.
yeah, and then plus I have had a few maternal instinct overdrive moms up until 10. So I don't know if there is a specific cutoff. If anything, it's probably more cultural. Um, if the kid's shooting hoops, probably you might want to cut them off.
Oh, man.
I totally agree with you, Dr. Zini. Right. If they are ready to have teeth, I'm worried about the teeth, So I did breastfeed my son just for a little bit, but I went right back to work after 6 weeks. I didn't do it for a long term. But I do remember a time because I was breastfeeding and giving him bottle. I was on the bus, so embarrassing. He wanted some milk, and I left his bottle at home. All right, he grabbing shirts and he trying to lift up my shirt. And that goes back to the question of milk, because we learned last week, after the breast milk, we really don't need milk.
No. Yeah, that's all the big agricultural farmers that are pushing that because they got a bunch of cows and they got cheese to sell and milk to sell. And yeah.
We really don't need that. All right, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. You are with us at the Living Well Ultimate Health Journey. We have the pleasure to have Dr. Phillip Zini III from Las Vegas. We also have our coaches here, Joby Marie and Angel Conway. Of course, and I'm your host, Alice Boswell. If you have any questions, TikTok, you have any questions, Facebook, Instagram, we're pretty much on all the stations right now, and YouTube. If you have any questions, please go ahead and send us your questions so we can go ahead and answer those for you. Ladies, y'all have anything for Dr. Zini before we go on?
So, Dr. Phillip, I do have a question. If a mother breastfed a child and they don't develop any allergies, is it because of the breast milk and all the nutrients that you are providing for your child?
That's a huge benefit. And the other thing is making sure that the first foods that you give your child are clean. And what I mean by that are as organic as possible. Have little to no preservatives. You try to stay away from dairy because, again, they don't need cow's milk. Plenty of water. And by doing things like that, then you're helping the natural immune system continue to grow and develop. So yeah, the longer you can breastfeed them, the better. The least amount of preservatives you give them in foods, the better. So if you can make your own food, and I even have some parents, whatever they have for dinner, they'll just kind of puree that, and then turn that into, kind of like a baby food, if you will, if the child is taking solid food, or if the child has a hard time chewing some stuff, you can always puree it or chop it up, and that works out well.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
that is nice. So
Mhm.
feeding them food, or well, I know, and this is maybe kind of bad, but in the Black culture, we actually feed our kids. I'm telling you, pretty much at 3 months, if
Hmm.
they look like they eating too much, we're giving them food. Okay, greens, cornbread, green beans. We watch very much what they get, but we do feed them food. We like, hey,
Mhm.
and I guess that's old school because that's what my mom and my grandmother used to do. They're like, feed that baby. That baby hungry. Like, well, I
Hmm.
Mhm.
gave him a bottle. So yeah.
Mhm. So that's all fabulous, except for maybe the cornbread. But greens, green beans, that's great. Um,
Hmm.
yeah. And again, the more natural things you can do, the better you are. And there's always um, books coming up about raw diets, raw food. So again, the the closer you get to the earth, some people call it farm to table, or fork um, fork to farm, whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
The closest you can get to being organic into the farm, the better off you're going to be.
All right. Very, very good. Once again, we are here with Living Well, the Ultimate Health Journey with Dr. Philip Zini. He has given us all the little nuggets and the tea. All right. You know what tea is, Dr. Phil? Or Doctor, he's giving us the tea. You see, he looking
You got
like
me
what?
on that one.
You're giving us a lot of information. You're giving us a lot of information, Dr. Zini. And
Okay.
we have coaches Joby Marie and Angel Conway. You can catch us here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Time, live. But starting in April, guess what's happening? We will be on Roku television and Apple TV. Yes, we will. Right. And that will begin April the 11th. We'll give out more information as that come. I'll also have a show. So I'm going to show a brief commercial on net to give Dr. Zini a little break. And then we'll be right back. All right. All right, so that's my new show, Jam with Alice. You catch me on Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Right now. All right. And I am on demand. So you can go to caughtinthenet.com, which you will also be able to catch Living Well, the Ultimate Health Journey with Dr. Philip Zini. He is going to give all the tea. You know what tea is. Now he's going to give all that information. Okay. And then we're going to
No, I
have
do.
and Angel, who's going to actually be giving you some tips and to lose weight and tips on mental health and self care. And then I'm just going to be here to be fabulous. That's just me. All right. So they need me, y'all. For some reason, they need me with my Shirley wig on. Okay. All right, Dr. Zini. What else do we have?
So at this point, we should probably wrap up, and we can save the intro to the last segment for next week.
Okay.
So in wrapping up, anytime you look at allergies, you always have to think about an inflammation type of response. So
Okay.
there's a couple products that we always recommend to help people with kind of building that foundation. One of them is called the Ultimate Vitamin. The other is Super 7, which is the immune superfruits. And then the best immune superfruit is mangosteen, and that's in the xanthomist. And then the last one is glutathione, and that's in the glutamist, and that helps out with the cells to replicate in a healthy manner. Because again, whenever you're trying to do food elimination, you're trying to repair and detox, you want the cells to repair healthy cells and replicate healthy cells. And the best way to do that is by keeping the antioxidants down, and that's what glutathione does, and that's what the glutamist does. And I just shot a great video, and I'll send that all your way, and then you can put that out there.
All right. Hey, everybody, before we get out of here, I want you to make sure you follow Dr. Philip Zini III on TikTok. Okay, make sure you follow him because he's going to give you gems try to give you some gems almost every other day. If not, remember he's a working doctor, right? He has offices throughout the United States, so he's going to try to give us some gems so that we're going to need for our health, right? Our ultimate health. And for the products that he's mentioning, you can actually go to wellbeingpath.myctfo.com. Okay. They are so happy that I got this correct. Y'all have no idea. All right. But you can go there and it's TikTok. I can have to say it again for TikTok. It's ultimate. It's wellbeingpath.ctfo.com for more information on the products that he's talking about. So on Facebook, I would make sure I put that link in there so you can go to it. Also with we're live on YouTube, so I make sure I put that in there for those viewers as well. All right, before we go, I'm going to have Jovi speak, and then we're going to have Angel speak. What do you have to say for yourself, ladies? It was a great conversation tonight. What do you have?
It was fantastic. So just piggybacking with what Dr. Phillips said about allergies and also breastfeeding, just have the right foods that you want to implement are the organic stuff. So organic foods, grass-fed, you want all of those items in your day-to-day intake. So you want to intake the proper foods in your body and just have that as well. Because when you have allergic reactions, jot it down. And this is what we always suggest is to do a journal. When you're writing down your journal and putting everything in writing, you're actually noticing what the food is doing to your body. I did that a lot. That's when I found out that I'm allergic to pork. And also what is it called? With the breads. How do you say
gluten.
it?
Gluten.
Hmm?
Gluten.
Gluten intolerance. So I'm
Yes.
gluten intolerant, and it I've noticed that, and I was taking notes, making sure how I was feeling with each item. So when you're writing it down, you're making sure that how you feel, and then start eliminating the actual foods, and then bring them back into your diet and see how it affects you. I've done that, and I'm still doing that on a daily basis just to see, okay, you know what? Let me see how this food is going to react or how I'm going to react to it. And your body starts reacting funny to stuff. I know I have. So just write it down, make a note of it, and then from there, go from there.
Okay. Angel, what we have?
Hello, beautiful people. I just want to say thank you so much, Dr. Zini, for your presentation on allergies. I do not have any allergies. However, I have been more aware of how different foods affects me. Dairy is a no-go for me. It wasn't very good for my asthma. So when I initially went on my health kick, that's one of the things that I eliminated because I found out that, causes mucus and, it's just not good for asthma. And so listen to your body, get help and take it one day at a time. Health is a journey and it is definitely worth it because life is worth living in good health, optimum health. So, yes.
Well said.
Well said. Well said. And then I am going to finish up and just to piggyback off of all and what they have said, because Dr. Zini has talked about the allergies. I have no allergies. I probably should have some allergies, so I don't eat everything that I see, but I don't have allergies. But a fresh start. So I am going to ask for that blood test to see if it's anything that I could possibly be allergic to. I did, and we'll probably get into it sometime this year. The blood test that I did take, they did a complete screening of my blood so to see, because my mom had kidneys damage and my father had the kidney damage, so they did a whole plate of things. So we'll be talking about that, but no allergies. Make sure you go and check out the Ultimate Vitamin that Dr. Zini was talking about, and the Super 7, the Glutamist, and what's the other one? Xanthomus.
Exactly.
You want to check those out at wellbeingpath.myctfo.com, and then change the way you eat. Try to eat more organic, as Joby was saying, organic food, grass-fed food, and journal your health. So important. So important. I try to journal everything that I do, also because then we're going to find out how I can have a better memory, right? Because I forget a lot of things, so I have to write down things. Okay. So as Angel said, just listen to your body. That's the most important thing. All right. Once again, we're here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Time. We want you to join us. And that is it. I think that's it. All right. And don't forget, we got a show coming on Roku Television and Apple TV. What you're seeing now is going to be so professional. Y'all not going to like it. They're not going to be able to stand me. I know it. They're trying to be professional. I will not be. You can bet that. All right. So until next week, we will see you. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. All right. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We'll see you next week, Wednesday at 8 p.m. as usual. Bye-bye.